How's it going today, everybody? Welcome back to the Troy's Hobbies RC YouTube channel. Today we are doing an unboxing and first look at this new FMS FCX10 crawler. This is one of the most feature-packed crawlers on the market right now, especially in its price point. I believe these vehicles come in right around $400. You can purchase them all over the internet, all over the place. So let's get into the box, take a look at the truck, take a look at some of the accessories it comes with, the controller, and everything else. We have a lot to talk about with this guy. Alright guys, we got everything out of the box. There's quite a lot here to talk about. So we'll start here with the paper stuff. And some of the other packaging we'll talk about here in just a second. First things first, you've got a really nice owner's manual here. FMS 1/10 scale K5 Blazer. Nice color, or not color, but black and white printed. Multiple languages, but this is going to be an important page for you guys to read here, which is your transmitter overview. And we're going to be using this page here in a little bit to talk about the transmitter itself, because there are several functions to go over here. So we'll be going into that, but getting into there, you have all of your exploded views, parts numbers, and everything you need to do your repairs. So really nice, really thick, comprehensive owner's manual. So I like that from FMS. They're always really good with that. Next on the docket, we have your camper shell windows and window masks. You have your plastic or Lexan here for your windows or your camper shell, which we will look at here in just a moment. But those are contained in a bag themselves. These are what we call, it has free gift on here, right? These are your mud guards for your inner fender wells. I'm going to be putting those on here in just a moment. We'll take a look at all that stuff installed on the truck here momentarily. So you get a couple of bags of mud guards. Really cool. We have a little adapter here for your XT60 plugs. I am waiting on some new batteries to show up for this truck before we do our first run. I'm going to have some XT60 specific batteries, so we'll be able to run it properly without any adapters or anything weird like that. But they'll be here in just a couple of days, so we'll be able to get it out on the trails. Next thing, your accessories pack. This is like your different little bits and pieces here. They look like little side accessories, roof skids maybe. Your lights for the roll bar, if you choose to install them. I'm not going to be installing any extra accessories on this truck. I'm going to be leaving it without the lights on it, and it'll be for a specific reason. At certain points, I'm going to actually be outfitting this with monster truck tires and doing just some fun, like, you know, small scale monster truck demonstrations with it. So if you have those lights on top and the monster truck rolls over, they're pretty vulnerable. So we're just going to put some nice skid screws installed on the top of that with a nice clean flat bar look. So that's how I'm going to run the truck personally. So, you know, we can do that. But they are here if you choose to install them in the future. Last accessory we need to look at is right here. And this is your camper shell. Obviously I got the black truck, so it comes with the black camper shell matched to the truck itself. Looks great. You have a nice honeycomb shape in there for the printing to make it a little bit more rigid in case of a rollover. I do like to see that. So if maybe in the future I get bored of this look and I want to change it up, I've got my camper shell right here and all the accessories that go with it. So let's go ahead and cut over and we'll start talking about the transmitter and all the functions on this truck next. Alright everybody, it's time to go over the functions of this controller here. This is a 2-in-1 controller, so it's a 2-in-1 ESC and receiver combo. So it's permanently bound to this ESC and receiver here. So if you want to change any of the functions and stuff, you're gonna have to change the entire electronic system if you want to do that. But for a 2-in-1 unit, this is the most feature packed I've ever seen. So let's go over it from the top. I have the owner's manual here right in front of me so I can verify that I know what I'm talking about here. We'll just start at the top here. Channel 7 and 8 are your front and rear diff locks here at the top. And whenever they're engaged, there'll be a blue light to let you know that they are functional. It says that channel 9 is extra, so it's a spare channel. So we'll test that and make sure it's not functioning for something else. Channel 10 here on this end here. This is your lock function. I believe it's a, what does it say? Self-locking switch. So that might be your dig. I don't know. I think that's actually on channel 6. So we'll take a look again. So this is all stuff we need to test out on the truck itself to find out what it actually does. Moving on down here, we have your steering reverse and throttle reverse over here. Steering on this side, throttle over here. Your dip switches in the middle here for forward and reverse. The second one is nickel metal or lipo. And then you have all of your throttle channel reverses or forwards. You have a bind button here in the center. Battery indicator on both of these sides. On this side here, you have your trim functions here. And you also, on this side, channel 11, this is a really important one here. This is your drag brake adjustment. So if you're doing like a heavy ascent or a heavy descent, you can turn on your drag brake to eliminate your vehicle from rolling back down or having a rollover, or if you're side hilling or things like that. But you can also turn it back down if you're just free driving the truck. So that's good. And then down here you have your normal throttle trim, steering trim, and your dual rates. So that's everything on that side. Let's go over some of the other functions here on the side. Here we have channel 5 on the side here. This is your light control switch. So it turns on your headlights. That's good. I like that. Channel 4 here is the blue button. It's the 2-speed transmission for channel 4, the switch from high and low speed. Channel 3, I do believe, is an extra channel. That is what it says, another spare channel with a blue indicator. So you can use that for something else, potentially a winch or something like that if you wanted to do that. But the important switch here is channel 6. This 3-way switch here. It's got a 1 position, 2 position, 3 position. This is an important one to know, because this is front wheel drive, 4-wheel drive, and then that's your dig function. So that's going to be the 3 things to remember. This will be front wheel drive, this will be 4-wheel drive in the middle, and then all the way over is your dig function. And you're going to have your diffs lock for that to function correctly. So that's a lot of information to go over with the channel. All the channels and stuff on the controller, I'm sorry. It's a lot of information to go over. But it does take 4 AA's, or it has a JST plug if you want to run like a LiPo battery. So it is very, very option dense for a ready-to-run controller. Probably one of the most option-dense ready-to-run controllers I've ever seen. So I'm excited to see about that. So let's get some of the mud guards installed, and let's take a look at underneath this truck. Okay, before we install the mud guards and everything else, let's go over kind of some of the outside details on the truck. Let's take a look at some of the nice chrome details here on the wheels. Again, these are just a plastic rim with a glued tire there. But they do have a really nice compound, kind of a semi-firm foam. Not super firm, so it has nice conformity still, but a nice medium compound trail tire. So that's what we're primarily going to be using this vehicle on anyways, is out on the trails. As you can see, the nice chrome trim that they put on this. These are actually pressed on pieces of plastic. That's real trim. That's not a sticker. That's really, really nice to see. Nice molded rear view mirror there and door handles. Really nice badging right there, the K5 Blazer. It's a little bit out of focus there. There you go, guys. See a little bit better there. You guys can really see that shine coming through. Here on the grill, you can see the nice Chevrolet grill. Nice reflection. It's got Tennessee plates, even though I'm here in Colorado, which is pretty funny, but you know, it is what it is. Windshield wipers, all that stuff looks really nice. The only fault I can see here is, unfortunately, here on the windshield, we have a couple of creases here on the screen that they installed. I'm not sure if there's a peel off or something like that, but unfortunately it looks like that is a permanent fixture, and that's an unfortunate ding in the blemish department. Don't really enjoy that. Doesn't really look that great, but you know, sometimes these things happen. But that's really the only blemish I can find on the truck. Other than that, let's turn it around here. You can see the back. Again, nice Chevrolet logos. You have your your hatch there for the rear tailgate, everything. Nice molded tail lights and everything. So all in all, really, really nice looking truck. Just a minor blemish there with the windshield. All right, before we get these mud guards installed, there's one thing I do want to go over. They are directional. So they are specific to the front and rear, and they are specific to the left and right. So make sure before you install them, just do what I did here and do a quick test fit and make sure the right ones are going in the right places. And then you just simply have to remove the correct screws, the two on the end here on the back, and then this one over here for the rears. And then on the front, it's the opposite. It's the front two here, and then the rear one over here. So we're gonna go ahead and get those installed real quick. Just a quick 2mm hex, and we'll have these put on. Okay, we are back from installing the mud guards and the roof skids here. These are just some skid bolts that I put in on top because I'm not going to be running the light bars. I just put the 2mm M3 screws through it with a lock washer on the bottom there, as you can see, just to keep them from poking through too bad and to secure them a little bit better. But the other reason that I'm not running the lights, and the main reason, is unfortunately FMS only sent me 3 of the 4 lights. We have the 4 lenses, but only 3 of the 4 actual bulb carriers are in there. So that's the reason I went without the headlights, as well as them being particularly vulnerable when I run this in stage 1 monster truck format. So when I put the big tires on and jump it over crush cars and do little piddly stuff like that, I don't want those headlights getting smashed off. So that's why we ran it this way. So let's go ahead and take a look underneath at the truck. All right, here's a nice look at the underside of the vehicle here. As you can see, I have all the mud guards installed. One thing I do want to go over with these mud guards, when you're installing the front mud guards, the front 2 bolts under here, they go together very, very easily. The bolt back here, right there, that single bolt there, you have to watch because it doesn't actually have an attachment point. It attaches onto this little piece that holds your cables for your micro servos. So you just got to watch your cable management and make sure you have this in there so that the actual bolt can thread into it. So just a pair of pliers and a little bit of careful, screwing in, just being careful not to get into anything, and you can get this thing back together. I think altogether this took me maybe 10-15 minutes to do all 4 corners and the top skids on the truck. So let's go ahead and talk about some of the other features. Okay, let's go over your electronics in the vehicle. Here is a look at your 21 turn. This is your power drive, or power dash 21 turn brushed motor. It's a 550 can, sealed in bell. It's easily replaceable. So think like your Holmes Hobbies, Crawl Masters, Torque Masters, any of the 550 brush can motors, any of that will be a direct swap into this and will work right with your system. So we may do that eventually down the road with this, and we also may end up doing a brushless conversion down the road at some point, but that's down the road. We have plenty of time to go play with this thing before then. Here's a look at your 2-in-1 FMS receiver and ESC with all of your cable management going in there. Interesting thing to note is right here on these ports here, these are actually your light ports, but since the vehicle uses a magnetic lighting system, these ports are still available to use. So if you wanted to do the external lights for your headlights, or if you wanted to add LEDs or anything like that, you still have a couple of ports available for you there. Oh, wait a minute. Hey guys, look what I just found. FMS didn't forget to ship it. It must have fallen out. Look at that. It was sitting in my battery tray. Well, we do have all 4 light buckets, so that's good to know. Great find. Shoo. But we're still going to run the skid guards regardless. So, but hey man, that's a good find. I'm glad I found that. Be thorough, guys. Lesson learned there, huh? All right, so let's look at some of the other stuff here. We have a servo on axle setup here, right there, as you can look down in there, with a metal steering horn, 25 tooth servo horn. All links on this truck are metal with plastic rod ends, so you should have good durability there. And then let's look at your servos. You have 4 micro servos on this vehicle. that you will have to deal with and manage over time. Hopefully these things are nice and reliable. You know, as they, you know, fatigue and whatever, we may have to replace them, but that's just part of the hobby. But they are micro servos, so they should be easy to replace. That's kind of a look at the overall electronics of the truck. It does come with an XT60 plug, so you'll need an XT60 battery, or you'll need an adapter for that. So that's kind of an overview of the electronics of the vehicle. Really simple electronics, just ready to run electronics. One more thing, here's a look at the magnetic lighting system. It just connects on the body via magnets and completes the circuit that way. So that's how you have your headlights. So that's pretty much a look at the inside of the truck. It has a 2-speed transmission, which is all done on the controller. And yeah, this thing should be a lot of fun with the remote locking diffs and the dig function and everything else. So let's kind of take a look at a couple other things and then wrap up the video. Okay, so the final part of the video that we're going to talk about today before we get it out for its first run and all the things that we're going to do with it, let's talk about the driveline components and things like that. Here you can see your center drive shafts here. It is a plastic body with a metal end, telescoping drive shafts. Really nice to see those. So those should be nice and durable and strong. There we go, just get a little better focus on that so you can see it better. There's a better look at those drive shafts. Look at your grub screw there. Here is your mechanical diff lock with your cable management and everything going down there. They do make an aftermarket skid plate, which I will be purchasing at some point here. That helps protect this diff lock system. So it can catch and you can cause damage to that if you're out bashing on some hard rocks and things like that. So we will probably end up getting the skid plate and all that. It's your typical you know, crawler style portal setup here. You have a CVD axle in here right there. So you have a nice CVD axle. Should give it nice turning and whatnot. There's a look at your portals. It's got a 12mm hex in there. It's all plastic housings, but it's all metal internal gears and things like that. So it's nice and strong and beefy. Here's a look at the metal under skid. It is actually a metal skid on there, so that's nice. They do make a brass aftermarket one that adds a little bit of weight down low, as well as the metal protection that you would get. There's a look at your rear drive shaft, which is, you know, it's very similar to the front here. Plastic telescopic drive shaft, metal ends. Goes into the 2-speed transmission down in there, which is really nice. Again, they do make metal drive shafts for this truck, so we're going to do all the upgrades on this vehicle at some point. Here's a look at your rear. So there again, your portal axles. There's your higher center of gravity for your center axle and your pumpkin housings there. And here's a look at your tire tread. You guys, really nice tire tread. Again, a medium foam, kind of a medium soft compound. And it's going to be really good on the trails. This isn't going to be probably your best hardcore crawling tire, but it's going to do really, really excellent on like rocky and muddy trails and getting over some pretty standard obstacles and things like that that you would experience. So let's go ahead and flip the truck back over on its lid, back on the all fours, and we'll give you guys my final thoughts for the day on this FMS FCX10. Okay, guys, one thing before I let you all go that I want to talk about on this vehicle is the clipless body system. Again, there's no body pins or anything you need to find on this vehicle, but it is a little bit tricky to get this body on and off. Namely, the side grooves. When you're reinstalling the body, you need to make sure it goes into your rock guards here on the side properly, or it'll throw the skew of your body off. Well, everyone, that's going to do it for today on the Troy's Hobbies RC YouTube channel. That was your first look and unboxing of the FMS FCX10. This is the Chevy K5 Blazer. This is a super feature-packed rock crawler for about $400. Rock crawler, more like a trail truck. 2-speed transmission, high and low speed, front and rear locking differentials, dig function, all kinds of extra functions on this vehicle, lights. This is a great purchase for this price point. So that's going to do it for today on the Troy's Hobbies RC YouTube channel. We're going to get this thing out for its first run later this weekend when my batteries show up. We'll do a 2S run and 3S run. You guys know I typically don't do speed checks or anything like that. We're just going to get out there and see how it straight up performs in the trails. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks you all for watching. Like the video if you can. Share it around if you'd like to. And we'll see you guys next time. Later.